Okay, welcome to Open House. As you can see, I'm joined by Brett Burton. Thank you very much for your time, big fella.
No worries.
Very disappointed you're hanging up the boots. You're one of the more exciting players in the AFL, certainly for the Adelaide footy. I reckon since Buddy Modra left.
No worries, thanks for that. It's
thoroughly
enjoyable.
Thoroughly enjoying watching you play. Look, just summing up your time at the Adelaide Footy Club, you know, what do you see? When you're reviewing your time there, what do you see?
Oh, look, it was unbelievable to come in for a start. I guess I come in on the back of two premierships in 97, 98, so I started in 99 and...
missed by that much?
Yeah, just missed out, but it was, you know, my, I guess, entry in the AFL was a little bit unique in the fact that most guys get drafted when they're 17, 18. I was a bit of a later developer, so I didn't get drafted when I was 20. So it was just, it was unbelievable to come into an environment where you'd supported the Adelaide Footy Club, you know, been to the games, been to the 98 grand final, and then to get drafted at that period of time was just, I guess, a dream come true to not only stay in your home state, but also come into an environment where, you know, the team just won two premierships. So
it's just great. Sorry to cut you off. Just interesting that you said you've been drafted a little bit later. I reckon we're going to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, definitely. I think certainly the GWC and the Gold Coast is going to drive that because they're priority picks. It's going to force recruiters to look beyond the younger guys because realistically they don't get an opportunity to see the best 10 players because they're going to be taken up by those other teams. So the guys that you've seen this year, Pozziello, and Barlow from Fremantle. Yeah. Look, they're just great stories because as you know in footy, and you've seen guys in your time, a lot of people have got the talent to play the game, but it's sometimes just about opportunity. Being at the right place at the right time. Some guys have maybe injured when they were 17, 18. Something else might have been going on. So to be able to extend the net and look at someone older, I reckon is great, and hopefully it will improve the level of competition because we're getting guys in at that age that can still play footy. Yeah.
Now, I read in the paper with interest. I think you only had 3 coaches.
Yep.
In your time at Adelaide Footy Coach.
Yep.
Club. Do you want to just describe each one?
Yeah. Look, I started off with Blighty, and he came out of obviously 97, 98 with great success. 99. He obviously announced his retirement just towards the end. And from all reports, he was completely different in 97, 98, and I think he probably lost it a little bit in 99 from all reports. But for me, he was unbelievable because he gave me a start. I played 21 out of 22 in my first year, missed the last one through injury. So to come in your first year and play pretty much every game, he gave me the confidence. I think he probably saw a little bit of himself.
A little bit of flair.
And the marking, that kind of stuff. So for me, he instilled a lot of confidence and gave me an opportunity. Fantastic. So I'm indebted to him for my start of my career. Ayresy, he was one really disciplined, really hard, and I probably took that out of him and very methodical, so learned plenty from that. And he also gave me an opportunity to play on the wing, which I probably, when I look back at my career, was probably where, even though people see me in the forward line and taking my marks, that I was probably more suited to the wing because I'm only 6 foot, but also my genetic makeup is one where I've got good aerobic capacity, so I was able to use that there.
I don't think people realise you've got a huge engine. I think you won the majority of the pre-season, time trials and all that sort of thing. And to see you just standing, in the forward lines and the big marks, I would have loved to have seen you running around more.
Because I guess that was my strength, was my aerobic capacity. So to be able to do that, and I guess I played in teams where we didn't have Tippett, we didn't have the big guy to stand up. So I was, even myself and Scotty Welsh and Darren Jarman, these kind of guys, we were, I guess, key forwards, but we weren't the size of key forwards, so we were probably, weren't suited to playing that key forward role, but out of necessity and not having the big guy down there, we had to. So, that time that Ayresy gave me the opportunity for a couple of years to play on the wing was probably, in my mind, where I played my best footy, because I was able to use that strength. And that was my whole background, like as a kid, I did athletics and long distance running, and so that was probably my go before I started playing footy.
And then Craigie,
look, he's been, in my mind, the best coach I've had. I guess he, taught me about leadership, life in general, and also high standards.
Sure.
He's been involved in the Olympics with cycling, and he really showed you what another level was in terms of preparation and in terms of elite performance. So learned a lot from him, and that I'll take into life after footy.
Brett, in my opinion, you're a really modest man. Maybe you've provided, as I said before, some really exciting moments. What was your most enjoyable win?
Most enjoyable win. It's a tough one because we never got to a grand final and never won a premiership. But probably 05 when we dominated the competition. We finished minor premiers. We unfortunately lost to St Kilda over here in the first final, and we had to go and play Port Adelaide, who really finished off the season well. I think they knocked off the Kangaroos by about 10 goals in their first elimination final Etihad, and I guess they were all cock-a-hoop, feeling pretty good about themselves. They thought, wow, we're going to come and knock off Adelaide, who'd been, I think we won 17, 18 games for the season and were dead set favourites. And they got confident. We come out and I think we smashed them by about 80 or 90 points.
I remember that game, loved it.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the most enjoyable wins I've had.
And then I reckon it was over to West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast.
Unfortunately, I remember sitting up there watching that one.
Yeah, West Coast. Like 05 and 06, in my mind, we really should have won a premiership or at least got to a grand final.
Yeah.
We were, no doubt, the best two teams in the comp. We hadn't lost to Sydney, and I think we lost to them this year for the first time in 6 years. And then Sydney won a premiership, and they met West Coast in 06 obviously as well. West Coast, we just had nemesis then. We just could not quite get over it.
Especially over there.
Especially over there, and in 06 we were three-quarter time we were leading them, half time we were leading by about 4 goals, and Cousins come out and tore us apart, and we ended up losing by I think just over a goal. So it was unfortunate. We just didn't seize the moment in those 2 years that we really should have won. We were best team over those 2 years, but just didn't do it.
Finals footy, 05 Port Adelaide, best game. Best grab, we've had heaps. Last year's was just an absolute cracker, I'd imagine. But which one, in your opinion, was your best one?
Yeah, I think that was no doubt the best one. It was, and a little bit of luck involved because I got the extra ride, and you play footy. That's it, and that's just pure luck that you get that extra ride. So I certainly did enjoy that one. And it's, for me, it's a great part of the game. It's a game we don't see enough anymore because obviously the game is very much about contested possession, and you want to keep it so you don't kick it up the packs. But in my mind, that was a little bit of luck involved, and I certainly enjoyed it.
I reckon it'll be used as a promo for many years to come. Just role models in footy. You've probably had a couple on the way through.
Certainly at our own club, we've been really lucky to have some very strong leaders and players that have, I guess, prepared really well. Obviously Rashudo springs to mind. I was really lucky early on in my career to have Roo take me under his wing. We shared a house for about 4 or 5 years, and so I learned a lot from him. Not only about footy, but also off-field preparation and life in general. So he's had a big influence on my career. And the other one, since he's gone, is Goody. His ability to be able to show leadership and the leadership program that we got at the moment, and I guess probably mentor younger kids.
Sure.
I've learned a lot from him, and he's also in my mind probably the one that's prepared better than anyone else I've ever seen.
There's a couple of articles in the last couple of days that obviously caught my attention. One of them, Brett Burton off field 2. You've used Roo as a bit of a role model. Now his business interests have carried him way through, after footy. What do you got in store?
Yeah, it's. I tell you what, it's an interesting one. It's interesting because it's very daunting when you finish footy because as most people would understand. Most guys come out of school and then they go into footy, and if they're in it for 10, 12 years, they basically hit 30 and it's like they come out of school again. What do you do now? And I'm lucky in the fact that because I did start later, I was able to do a uni degree and completed that early on in my career, and then about 5 years ago I went back and did an honours degree in sports science. So I've had that. I've always had it in the back of my mind that either through injury or form, your footy career could finish early. So I've got that behind me. I started a gym down at West Lakes about 12 months ago, which has been really enjoyable and really good.
It's going really well.
Yeah, it's going well.
Kevin Moulton?
Kevin Norton, the professor. It's been great to have him involved, and it's been a steep learning curve, but as you know in business, it has its ups and downs, but you learn a lot from it. And then I've been doing some leadership stuff, consultancy stuff as well, which obviously with a couple of your franchises at Flinders Park and Moulton.
Can you just tell us what you're trying to achieve out of that? I sat in one of your sessions and I said to you afterwards it was brilliant. So the way you facilitate is out. What are you trying to get out of it yourself?
And personally?
Yeah.